Hey, welcome back out to the shop. And today I'm working on a few different projects here, so let's go ahead and walk you through it. I'm continuing work on the Beaver wing right now. This is a flap assembly that's going together. As you can see, it's got lots of little parts here. They got a set of ribs that go down it, a leading edge that tacks onto the front. We're going to have a horn that goes in the middle for the actual to drive the flap out of the wing. And then there's a couple little things, like there's these little boxes where you put in a piece of extra balsa for the hinges to sink into, so they actually go through the outer skin and actually have something that they're sticking into. So those are all in there, and then a cover will go over the top. And of course we got to sand it all down to its nice round shape to come out of the back of the wing, so it kind of curves down to it. It's a nice looking flap when it's all done. So I got those. I've also got ailerons to put together over here, so we're just working on those a piece at a time. But let's go take a look at some of the other things going on out here. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. I've got the fan back up and running. If you're using CA, it's a good idea to have an airflow going across the bench while you're working with it, because it'll keep the fumes from going straight up in your eye. It'll actually blow them away. That's a little safety tip for you. So let's go over here. This is the second messy bench that we have going. All right, I want to show you these. These are copies off of a plan that Mark and I are working on. We're going to be working on a plan that comes from Dick Sarpolis. His plan is called the Prime Cut. And so what we're going to do, it kind of looks like a, for lack of better words, it kind of looks like a RV4 kind of thing as far as kind of an aviation. It's a single pilot with a nice bubble canopy on it, sitting up there, low wing, and a typical, set of stabilizer, and no V-tails or anything goofy like that. It's just a nice clean airplane. And so we're going to make one. There's a lot of parts in it that are going to have to be cut out of foam. So these are the templates that came off the plans. I went down to Staples and photocopied each of the templates, and so I want to walk you through. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these templates on this stuff. This is Formica. Remember what Formica is? That plastic stuff that everybody put on their countertops back in the 60s? Well, the 70s too, I guess. I was only partially in the 60s. So yeah, there was still a lot of them around in the 70s. So this is a plastic that goes on your countertop. It's very tough material. And so what I'm going to be doing is taking these and cutting them out and then gluing them onto the Formica. And then the Formica is going to go experience the brand new scroll saw that I've got over there. Pretty cool, huh? Now, don't worry about this. We'll get to this in a second here. Anyhow, that's what I plan on doing. I was going to show you this. This is the way that we have to set these up. You can see how I've divided this one into 10 segments. So what happens is this one is going to be stuck on one side of the foam board that we're dragging the hot wire through. And this one is going to be on the outside. So this is a double taper wing. It's one of those really cool wings that not only tapers down in the size, top to bottom, but it also tapers down end to end all the way out to the end of the wing. So we got to cut one of these for each end of the wing. So the wings are, I can't remember what the size is. I think they're like 40, 48, something like that. So on one end of the 48 piece of foam, we are going to be putting this on there. And on the other end, we'll be putting that. And then I'll be on one end, Mark will be on the other, and we'll drag this wire through the foam, matching the outline of these particular formers made out of the Formica. And what that's going to do is give us a couple of nice wing foam cores. Now, this plane has a lot of foam cores. This one here is for the stabilizer. That's the end of it. That's the inside of it, or the root of it. And then over here is the fin and the lower fin and the top of the fin, and then the rudder will be cut out of it at some point in there. So anyways, we put these stations on them. You see these? Numbered 1 through 10. When you're dragging the wire over the formers, they have to go through at the same pace. So in other words, you can't just have one guy starting on this end, you've got one end here, and you just drag the wire and one end's going faster than the other. They must be synchronized. So what we'll do is we will divide up these into 10 segments like this, and then as we're working it, he'll call out one, like the person on the outside of this one, because this one will move considerably slower when we're dragging the wire through it, because this one is shorter in length. So this one will only go, whereas this one goes about 1.5 inches, this one will only have to go like 3/4 of an inch, because this is roughly half of the size of this. So anyways, when we're actually doing the procedure of dragging the hot wire through it, he'll call out one, and it'll be my job to be on the one here. And then he'll keep the pace going, and he'll say 2. When he gets to 2, I'm going to have markings on this one eventually. I'll be at the number 2 marking. And so what that does is it ensures that the wire is moving through the foam wing at a uniform speed, even though we have 2 different lengths we're working with. I know, it's a lot to think about, but that's exactly why I'm doing all these numberings and all that stuff. It's also important to show this is the top of the wing, because this one here looks like a pretty symmetrical wing, but occasionally there'll be flatter bottom wings or something like that. And then what you have to do, once we get them cut out of the with the Formica on the back, we'll have to transfer the station numbers to the other side, because you have to make a second wing, which is exactly the opposite. So we have to flip this over, and I'll put the numbers on the other side of the Formica back there to put these stations in place. And yeah, that's how that's all going to work, just so you know. That's project number 2. Now let's move to project number 3. Oh yeah, it's this one right here. This is my Vic RC fuselage for a Sea Fury, a Jerry Bates Plans Sea Fury that my friend Vic, he makes these things. He's got a few different models that he's done this for, and what he does is he takes an actual replication of the fuselage, has it made, and then coats it with fiberglass, and then he makes a mold out of it. And then from the mold, he can pull these hollow fiberglass shapes through it. And so basically, if you want to build a scale plane, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of time, this will save you a lot of time on the fuselage, because basically it's all here. It'll have some formers that'll go in it eventually, that I'll show you when I get to that phase. But this one here took on a little bit of damage over the years. I had it out one day in one of my shops that was a garage, and the garage door was up. It was a nice day, so I had the garage door open, and I had this out there, and somehow I guess it was just inside the bay of the door, and what happened was I closed it. I forgot that it was near the bay of the door, and it turns out the tail was over the track slightly. And so basically it was standing on its nose straight up, and the garage door came down and pushed on it here, and it kind of busted up this area right here. You can see where there's a bunch of damage. There's an actual crack right here. See that? Yeah. So anyway, that is all kind of dinged up, so I'm gonna have to fix it. And it also took on some damage. Let's see if I can roll this over without dropping it on the floor. And you can see it. Yeah, right underneath here. You see all this? Also busted up in the same accident. So what's going to happen, I'm going to repair it by putting some more resin and cloth on the inside to cover this all up, and then we'll work it over to make it smooth like the outside used to be. Right now it's got a bunch of jagged edges and some fiberglass sticking up. So we'll fill it from behind with the materials. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I mean, I could try to go in here. It's very tight, and I don't know how I would get, especially way up into here from here. But I was looking at this the other day. This is a tail wheel door that's going to need to be removed so I can get the tail wheel assembly in it, and eventually this will act as the landing gear door. So what I can do is take my Dremel and do a nice fine cut around this and match the door frame all the way around, and that's going to pop a big nice area that I can reach in there and get to this for sure, and probably that much easier too when it comes to putting this stuff in there. So yeah, we'll be using a little bit heavier fiberglass and finished resin on the inside to go ahead and fill up that stuff and make it nice and strong again. And then, like I said, there's going to be a former back here. It's got to be somewhere right back in this area because that's where the tail wheel is going to attach. It just can't attach to nothing, so there's got to be a bulkhead back here somewhere, and that'll help firm up this damaged area. But those are the 3 projects I'm working on right now. So I guess I'll get back to the Beaver here and keep putting that stuff down. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.